Hey, I'm gonna give it a few minutes and see how many people are able to join us tonight. Hey, Cassandra. Hi, Karen. I got a candle burning, actually in here with my sister. And I have you guys ever seen one of these? One of those salt lamps. Supposed to help with, and I got the candle going. Oh. There we go. No, I'm not burning my sister. I'm burning a candle. That's awesome. Oh, hey, Heather, how do I get this thing off?
What thing?
It says no filter thingy on the bottom of this.
Just press the little X button.
The little...
Just do no filter.
I did. It's not going away. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I'm burning my sister. That's awesome.
Always burning you.
I am not always burning you. Don't listen to her. Just gonna give it a few minutes, guys. See if anyone comes up here. Hi, Stephanie. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Don't know if everybody's on the East Coast, if you're in another country. Had to make the funny. It's good to laugh. Laughter's always good. Laughter's what keeps everybody going, especially when you're having a hard time. That's for sure. Oh, you want to hear something funny? So I live in Georgia. I don't know if there's any football fans, but I came from up in Maine, and I lived there for 19 years. And of course, I'm gonna be Danica. How you doing, buddy? So my second daughter's up here. So New England Patriots. Okay, I have to represent, and I wore it today outside, and I'm in Georgia now. And you know they played Georgia for the Super Bowl, and I'm thinking I'm asking for it. But hopefully people can take a little friendly competition. But it's all good. Texas here. So it's an hour behind where you are. Oh, hey, Cassandra. I have not watched the game tonight for the Preds. Who's winning? I'm kind of interested to know the score. I usually check it, but I was so... Excuse me, there's hair on my face. I was so into... I don't know, for some reason I got brave all of a sudden, and I just felt the courage that I needed to come up here and share it, and then once it's out, whoever's not up here and they want to see it, they can certainly go ahead and watch it. So, oh, thanks, Dan. I miss you. We'll have to video chat soon. But, I'm gonna go ahead and start talking, and 1-1. Okay, cool. First period, 1-1. The Predators, they've advanced to the next series. So if they win this, they are going to the Stanley Cup. And I am not a hockey person, so super impressed with myself. Okay, so guys, I wrote my story up there, and my thought was that if I had started to write all of my story, hey Tila, that I would bore the pieces out of everybody and they wouldn't even finish watching listening to the rest of it. So I put the half of my story up there, with the intention to tell you where I am now and how I got to where I am now. So let me just recap. I'm going to go through it super quick so I don't bore anyone. The last 8 years has been, a roller coaster. Every time something happened, I'd try to stay positive, and hey Goldie, looks like you made it. Thank you. Um, it, you know, you get to a point where, something happens. You say, if you can take something out of that awful experience and learn from it, then it didn't happen for no reason. So, last 8 years, let me just go down in order of what happened. And I'm not going to go into detail. I'm just going to kind of go through and show you, basically the moral of the story and what my point is. So, 8 years ago, my mother-in-law had lung cancer, and she had just about 9 months to live, and that was hard for all of us. It was a hard thing. We had done a lot for her. Not going to go into detail, but dealing with cancer is awful. I'm sure we all understand that. Hi Michelle, we've all been there before. It's not an easy struggle. And then it was about, oh man, I don't know, like less than a year. My marriage of 15 years had ended, and then I became, a single mom. And during that time, I wanted my daughter to have what she could have, so stability, because it was important. And what I did is, hey guys, what I did is bought a house. It's buying a house and you're a single mom, you're going through a divorce. Holy cow, you know what? Anybody who buys a house, I give you kudos, because it is not easy. I had to jump through freaking like hurdles like insanely to buy a house. If you guys bought a house, you get it. So I did that, and then was it the same year my mom committed suicide, and that was hard because it lasted for about a month, and she was in a coma, and then we had to make a decision on to let her go. So that's still a struggle. Then what else? I know I'm missing stuff because it's like everything's happening. And then I have a brain tumor. I go to the doctor. I go to get an MRI because my brother has an aneurysm. He still has a brain aneurysm, but it's gotten so small. He's doing well. But I go to the doctor. I'm like, okay, I'll get the MRI. Nothing's going to come up, whatever. I've had epilepsy since I was 16. So, as far as my health issues, that was pretty much all that I had. I was pretty healthy. Had my appendix out, but, nothing major. So I thinking nothing of it, and then I get a phone call saying that that I have a tumor, and then they wanted to do some blood work. And when they did the blood work, it came showing that I had high cortisol. So it was almost a whole year before I could find out any answers. It was so frustrating. You have to actually be an advocate for yourself, because some doctors will make you feel like you are crazy, and they don't understand your body like you do. Nobody understands how you feel like you do. So if you're not feeling right and you're not getting an answer that you need, you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to tell them what is wrong, and don't stop until you actually get some answers. And that's actually what I had to do. And so finally, I find out. I go to, I'm in Boston now. I'm getting sent to Boston after so much craziness over the year and the struggles of having to carry a container around and doing put pee in a container for 24 hours. So I couldn't go far from home. That was fun, let me tell you. Anyway, I found out that I had something called Cushing's disease. The tumor was producing, in my head, was producing large amounts of cortisol, which all the stuff that was happening to me, I thought was stress related. I was gaining tons of weight. I was super moody. I was like over the edge. Hey Casey and Blanca and Danica. Danica was around. Like, she knows. how I was. I actually went to work and I was working part time as a waitress. I wanted to freaking bite people's heads off. It wasn't even funny. Um, I was getting couldn't only do like half my shift. I was getting extremely tired. There were so many different symptoms, and I basically chalked it up to stress because of all that stuff that had happened in my life. Who's not going to sit there and have issues? So that's what I thought it was. And it wasn't all in my head. I was not going crazy. I had an invisible illness that was affecting me more than what people could actually see. I felt torn apart inside. I felt like I don't even. I felt alone because all of this burden, like I had gone through all this other stuff already, and then this one big like thing at the end, and I'm like, how much more can a person take? How much more am I gonna get put, under before I break? And somehow I just kept going, and I think the reason I kept going is because, for one, my daughter. If it wasn't for her, I probably would not have been able to wake up every day and go through half of the stuff that I went through. Thank you. That's sweet, guys. And you do what you have to do, and you don't even think about what you're going through when you're going through it. You just keep going. You have no choice. So I had surgery to take the tumor out, and thanks, hey Darcy. So basically, I thought, I think I put too much on having the surgery. I thought I was going to be just like I was before, thinking I was going to be right back to new, because there was a woman that had lived in the town that I lived at. She had gone through the same thing that I did, and she was at the same surgeon that I had. And she, at that point, had just come out of surgery. And to this point, she's doing amazing. And I am so glad she is doing amazing. And I guess I thought I was going to be like that too. But, I mean, I have a couple of friends that I met through this whole thing, and not everybody has the same luck. People have to have more than one surgery. And it's not easy, because sometimes you can't find out. Usually you find the blood work comes back, and then you have to search for the cause. They found my tumor first. So that was really miraculous, I guess I should say, and I owe that to my brother for having a brain aneurysm, believe that or not. But the whole point of this is I had my surgery. Afterwards, I wasn't okay. Right after the surgery, I had complications. I wound up coming back from Boston and then having to go right back. And my friend Robin was a super trooper. Dropped everything and just like brought me right back to Boston, as she had just come back with me, along with a couple of my friends, and stayed in Boston with me during the time. But Robin had gone back with me, and I wound up being there for like another 3 or 4 days. And I felt like somebody was stabbing my head, in the back of my head, like somebody was taking a knife